Today's program is sponsored by the Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
You're listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not. Get into the loop with us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise, and we're your radio gateway to what's trending with beauty, fashion, health, wellness, and sex.
Mostly sex.
Learn and laugh with us anytime, any place. Go right to our website, anthonyvincentsalon.com. Click away and listen today.
You'll be glad you did.
Oh, yes, you will be.
Elise, great show today.
Oh, don't we always have a great show, Anthony?
Yes, we do. We got some really interesting things that we're going to talk about.
Of course we do.
We're going to talk about traveling. The weather's getting a little cooler. Maybe you want to go someplace a little warmer.
It's cherry blossom time.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about that and some of the scams as a traveler you have to watch out for.
Perfect.
And we're going to be talking about... is your lover's penis making you sick?
My lover?
The vernacular.
Vinny, I got it.
Generally speaking.
Got it.
But first, this week in history, the U.S. Navy was established
Oh my
in
gosh.
1775.
Yes, it was. Yeah, 1775, October 13th to be exact. In 1775, the Continental Navy was established. And that's where Congress authorized construction and administration of the first American naval force. What do you think of that?
I think that's pretty cool.
Fantastic. You know what else happens this week?
Columbus Day?
Boss's Day.
Oh, Boss's Day, yes.
October 16th was Boss's Day. That was yesterday.
Yes. Girls, I would love some car wash tickets.
Well, you know
I don't need flowers. I need car wash tickets.
We're not getting you flowers.
Thank you.
No. It's Boss's Day. So happy Boss's Day to you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
It's a pleasure to be bossy.
And you know what? As Beyonce would say, bossy is not a good word. It's all about being boss.
Beyonce, you say it good.
Absolutely.
Anyway, congratulations
Two.
to all who survived the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
And why is that? Why is there a congratulations for
Okay.
us survivors?
Okay, well, first, we survived being born to mothers who smoked and drank while they were pregnant.
Mine did. She did.
So did mine.
Yep.
Okay. And they
Like a fiend.
They didn't get tested for diabetes.
That's true.
Then babies were put to sleep on their tummies in cribs covered with brightly colored lead-based paints.
Correct. That is true. We all slept on our bellies. In fact, my mother didn't understand why I would not put my child on his or her belly. She's like, what are you talking about? The kid's not going to sleep. It's true.
I still sleep on my belly to this day.
I wish I could.
All right, we had no child-proof lids on medicine bottles, locks on cabinets, and we rode our bikes. We had baseball caps,
That's
not
correct.
helmets on
And
our
you know
damn
another
head.
thing that we didn't have?
What's that?
We didn't cover the electric. Those little
The
things.
little plug thing in?
Yeah, we didn't do that. Yeah, if we wanted to stick a butter knife into the electric socket, we did.
I don't know anybody. I never did that. I don't know anybody.
I mean, I didn't
who
do
ever
it
did.
either, but we actually, when we would take toast out of the toaster, we would stick the knife right in and get the toast. Nothing happened to us. We didn't get a shock.
Well, okay, as children, we rode in cars with no car seats,
Or
no
seat
booster
belts.
seats, no seat belts, no airbags, and on bald tires.
Okay, here's the best, okay? Station wagons.
Oh.
We would all sit in the back seat of the station wagon and hang out the back window.
Absolutely. That was really a special
It was
treat.
fun.
And if you had somebody with a pickup truck, that was even better.
Even better, we'd all climb into the back. Absolutely.
We drank water from a garden hose,
All the time.
not from a bottle.
All the time.
We shared one soft drink with 4 of our friends, one bottle, and nobody actually died from that.
And nobody got sick.
No.
And that's the reason, I have to say one thing though. Our immune systems were so much better.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't sick like the way the kids get sick today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Our immune systems were fantastic because we were exposed to everything. to
That's
the
right.
dirt.
That's right. We ate cupcakes, white bread, real butter, bacon. We drank Kool-Aid made with real white sugar.
And people's hands would mix it.
And we weren't overweight.
No, none of it. Well, because we ran. We were on skateboards. We were playing baseball and softball and doing all kinds of amazing things outside. We didn't sit inside on a video and play a video game or anything like that.
You are so right.
We were outside for hours. We'd leave the house in the morning. We'd come back in the evening.
When the street lights came on.
Exactly.
And nobody was able to reach us all day. We had
And we were fine.
absolutely fine.
We were not, well, I mean, all right. There is the little kidnapping issues that, recently, over the past, couple of decades have taken its toll on people, but we didn't have that, thankfully.
Don't be a downer.
I'm not being a Debbie Downer.
Alrighty.
So sorry.
We would spend hours building our go-karts out of the scraps. And the best thing we could do was find something in the garbage like wheels.
Exactly.
Somebody threw
I
away
know.
wheels, man. They were like treasure.
I know.
And, we'd build these go-karts out of stuff we found in the garbage. And we'd go down the hill running right into the bushes.
Oh, and even like when we were on our sleds in the wintertime, literally going into the bushes and not being able to get out of the bush because it became like a cave. Okay. And we had to squirm our way out. I remember this, our toboggans.
We didn't have PlayStations. We didn't have Nintendos. We didn't have Xboxes.
We didn't need it. And I have to tell you something.
There
We
were no
got
video.
home and after dinner, we would take our shower or our bath and we would read our book and rest and pass out and actually sleep through the night because we were tired from good old fun.
That's right. We didn't have video games. There was no 150 channels on cable.
Nope.
No movies, no DVDs, no
Nope.
surround sound, no CDs, no cell phones, no personal computers.
But we had our record players.
No internet, no chat room. And we listened to records all day. too.
Yeah. Well, when we were home in the rain, we would do arts and crafts and listen to records.
That's right. With our friends. We had friends.
Our friends always came over.
And if we didn't, we went outside and we found them.
Exactly.
We fell out of
It's
trees.
shameful if you didn't have. Yeah. Oh, did you actually fall out of a tree?
I've fallen out of trees.
I fell out of a
across-
tree.
Yeah, like a fruit tree. I would always climb up because the best peaches and
Were at the top.
cherries were at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would climb up there. One time I climbed up. I wanted to go to the big kids' treehouse.
Oh,
And,
yeah. I remember this.
Yeah,
you told me.
yeah.
Yeah, you told me that.
And I climbed up, and I wanted to get in that treehouse. I couldn't get down.
Yeah, it happens.
I survived.
Yeah, you jumped. It's okay.
That's right. And we got cut. We broke our bones. We broke teeth.
Oh,
and
I got such cuts.
there were no lawsuits from.
No, we would fall right on the cement, smash our face right into the cement. I once fell. You see the scar on my lip? You know the scar? I fell so hard, I ripped my whole lip open, cracked my teeth. Yeah.
Oh, those beautiful. Maybe that's why they're so full. Are they still swollen?
It was a long time ago.
We would get spankings with a wooden spoon, a ping pong paddle, or just a bare hand, and
Yep.
nobody called child services to report
Yeah,
abuse.
Dyfus? What was Dyfus? Yeah.
We ate worms. We ate mud pies.
Did you eat worms?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and still nobody died.
That explains it.
We were given BB guns. I still have mine, by the way.
Oh my gosh, cap guns. Remember the cap guns?
Yep.
Yep.
We got rifles, 22 rifles for our 12th birthday.
You'll
we rode
shoot
horses.
your eye out.
Right. Yeah. Nobody shot their
Nobody
eye out.
shot their eye out.
No. And we made up games with sticks and balls.
We made up games, period. We just played.
When I was a kid,
We
the
used our
best-
imagination.
Our best game was guns. Mom going over Christie's to play guns.
We used our imagination. We were creative.
That's right. Whatever we had, if we had a short little branch, that was a pistol. If we had
Then
a long,
we just
if
used
we had a
it.
broom handle, that was the rifle. And it was always like, da 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 da, you're dead.
Okay, here's the best. Okay, we would leave a few girls we would leave. We would go climb sheds. We'd bring our umbrellas with us, and we became Mary Poppins. We would fly off the sheds. Okay, like who does that? Okay, we would literally jump off these sheds with umbrellas and a carpet bag.
You know
Okay?
what? As a guy, we jumped off of the roof of sheds also.
I'm
but we
sure
didn't
you
do
did.
it with umbrella and handbags.
We did it with
We
umbrellas
just-
and well, we were being Mary Poppins. We wanted to fly, and we would fly kites
Mm-hmm.
all the time. Let's go fly a kite. Don't you love kites?
I love them.
We need to get a kite.
Okay.
We need a kite. We need to go run outside. Okay, there's plenty of room out there, and we need to go fly a kite.
I could never get the kite up in the air.
Oh, I'm great at getting that kite up. Don't you worry about a thing.
So, but we rode bikes or we walked to our friend's house.
Oh my God, all the time. It didn't matter how far.
No, you just got on that bike and you went.
Or we would walk in the snow. In a tsunami of snow, we would walk. It didn't matter.
Well, yeah, I remember walking in snow up to my butt, but I think it was because I was only like, 2.5 feet tall.
There was a snowstorm one year in April. It was in the 70s. I remember because I remember this. And the snow was up to my waist. We had no school. Somehow, some way, I got out of my house. It was hard to get through the door. I got out and we walked. We waded, okay? It was like swimming in the snow. But I walked to my girlfriend's house and it was far, but we got there.
And it was fun.
It was so much fun. And then we walked back.
Mm-hmm. And Little League had tryouts and not everybody made the team.
That is true. Not everybody did. I did, but not everybody did.
But those who didn't, they learned to deal with disappointment.
Of course.
Imagine that. You have to deal with disappointment in life.
But it was okay. Because you know what? They practiced, they got stronger, they got better, and then they made the team. And then they deserved to be on the team.
That's right.
And that's the truth. Then they were, according to the coach, they were good enough to be on, and that built their self-esteem.
Yes, it did. And the idea of a parent bailing us out if we broke the law was unheard of. They actually sided with the law. What the heck did we do?
Yeah, I had that situation.
That's right. And, if the cop brought you home, oh, my God.
I had that situation.
You were ready for a beating.
I was in so much trouble. Oh, boy. Yeah, I did a bad thing.
Well, we're not going to talk about that.
I learned from it, though.
And that's the key.
I never did it again. Maybe once, but I didn't get caught. Twice, possibly.
Oh. How sweet is that?
We won't talk about that.
But anyway, these generations have produced some of the best risk takers, problem solvers, and inventors ever.
Creative people. That's what we are.
That's right. And all of these things helped us to become that way.
Exactly.
In the past 50 years, there has been an explosion of innovation and new ideas. We had freedom, we had failure, we had success and responsibility.
Absolutely.
I don't think that is...
I think that I understand what you're saying. You don't think that it's going to be the same in the next... coming years. You don't think that the kids of today are going to be able to do what we've been able to accomplish. But let's hope you're wrong. Let's hope they'll come up with something, because it would be a tragic end there of creativity and fabulousness.
So if you, our listeners out there, were one of those people born between 1925 and 1970, congratulations.
And you know what? Email us at trendradio920@gmail.com. And if your birthday fell within those years, you give us your email and we will send you a $50 gift certificate to Anthony Vincent Salon.
That's great. And, you might want to share this little story with others who've had the luck to grow up as kids before the lawyers and the government regulated everything in our lives.
And before DIFUS came in.
Yeah. Regulating
for
us
yelling at you.
for our own good. Kind of makes you want to run through the house with scissors, doesn't it?
Did you ever read that book, Running with Scissors?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, don't run through the house with scissors.
Mike, we got a pair of scissors. I'm going to run through the studio today.
Go for it. I have a pair of scissors
I can
right
allow that.
That's right. Too many lawyers.
Absolutely.
But anyway, you're listening to Trend Radio, and we talk about what's hot and what's not. So get into the loop with us.
You'll be glad you did.
Alrighty. Travelers beware. Many travelers think their hotel rooms are a safe place while they're visiting a new city.
Oh, yeah. No, you have to be careful about that. Yeah, especially when you're in some place that you're not used to being. It's not always safe, especially also if you look like a tourist.
Yeah.
It's important to not look like a tourist. Like, remember
I
when...
look like a tourist. I have a camera around my neck. I have a fanny pack.
Yeah.
I've got shorts and sandals.
Dum. You should see what happens when we go to New York and he's with me and Mara or just, me or whatever. We're walking through the streets of New York, and I'm like pulling him, like, put your head down, don't look at that. He's like looking at everything. He'll look like a tourist. They'll attack him. They'll take your wallet.
I'm a country boy. I'm not used to all the
That's okay.
lights
You
and the tall
walk,
buildings.
You keep your face straight. Don't smile. Go fast.
That's not me.
I know that, but you have to be, you can't be touristy in New York. They'll attack you.
But even the most savvy of world travelers are unaware of the risks that sophisticated scams that start right inside the hotel room.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell us all about that?
I am.
I can't wait. I'm waiting with bated breath here. Hurry up. Come
All right.
on.
Okay.
Let's go. Come on. I want to know about it.
Travelers are often looked at as an easy target.
Yes.
Scam artists are always looking for the easy way to part a traveler from their money.
Wow.
So here's a scam.
Wait. Do these scam artists kind of hang out nearby, near the hotels, that kind of thing?
Not necessarily. I'm going to give you a couple of examples.
Okay.
Fake hotel food delivery.
Fake hotel food delivery? So like if you
Yes.
order something, it might not be from the pizza place that you ordered from?
That's right. It's not uncommon to find a number of menus in your hotel room from local dining places.
Okay, so when you call the wrong one, the wrong delivery person comes. Wow.
No. All right. How many times have you come to your room and you find a menu slid underneath the door? Well, that menu looks real, and it may be a restaurant that doesn't exist at all. It just may be.
So maybe you should, before you call any place, Google the restaurant.
Well, okay. Let me tell you how the scam works.
Okay.
Alrighty. The scam artist creates and prints a menu that looks real.
Okay.
Once it's created, the menus are slid underneath the door of the hotel room, inviting guests of the hotel to order in at the end of the day. What the guests don't know is that restaurant doesn't exist. When a guest places the order, they'll be asked to pay for their order by credit card. The food never comes. The scammers have your credit card info.
Okay. Well, there you have it. But I have to just tell you something. If I was ever, whenever I'm out or if I was ever going to call someplace, I would Google like local places, or I would ask the front desk, if there's a specific place that they like to deal with.
That's the best thing to do.
Yeah, but I would Google local places and I would see
And
their
most
ratings
of the time,
and that kind of
the
thing.
front desk or the concierge will give you menus of places that they know.
The truth is that I just order room service. That's the truth for me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's a Jewish girl thing.
Oh my God.
Alrighty. Fake, I'm in trouble now.
A little bit.
Fake front desk charges. This is how it happens, okay? A lot of high-quality hotels are trained to make a phone call to your room 15 minutes after you check in, just to make sure that your room is perfect. But have you ever gotten a call from the front desk with a problem? This is what happens. It starts when you get a call from your room phone from someone claiming to be the hotel's front desk. And they'll claim that the hold on your credit card was declined and that they need to re-verify your credit card information as a convenience. And they are just happy to take your credit card information over the phone. Boom. They got your credit card information again.
Okay. And so and I just say if that should happen, you just say, thank you very much, but I'll go downstairs. I'll go to the front desk. I will be down shortly, and I will take care of everything with you. And at that point, you pick up the phone, and you call the front desk, and you ask to speak with the manager, and you ask if a call actually just came in regarding this, and you tell them exactly what happened.
You're absolutely correct. A real member of the hotel staff would never ask for credit card information over the phone. And you should never, ever give credit card information over the phone.
Correct.
Oh, and you're so smart.
I try.
Always offer to come down to the front desk to sort it out. And just simply hang up the phone.
Perfect.
Another scam is the free Wi-Fi connections.
Oh my gosh. I remember, oh God, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I have to just tell you, remember when you were on vacation and you were like, where's the Wi-Fi? And you
Yes.
called me.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
like, you need your hotspot. And I'm trying to help you, talk you through your Wi-Fi.
boy,
Yeah,
I
oh, that was a
burned
riot.
through my gigabytes, let me tell
I
you.
remember. Remember.
And there were places that would offer free Wi-Fi, and I didn't know this information, but there was no way I was giving information in another country that I didn't know anybody.
But I will tell you something. I know how you can get Wi-Fi when you're there and without giving any information. It's just I'm going to show you how to do it
Alrighty.
so that you understand for when you are away.
Alrighty, and when we do that, we'll share that information with our guests and
Absolutely.
listeners.
Absolutely.
Well, this new scam targets you through the promise of free internet access. Now, it's common at public places like coffee shops and bus stations, but the scam works by setting up a free Wi-Fi hotspot. Now, through the internet connection, it will be free to access, and your data will route through several points, including the scam artist's computer, because they're hosting the connection. So you are getting the free Wi-Fi, but they can see all of the data that you transmit, including the websites, usernames, and passwords.
Yeah, they get everything.
Yeah. So before you connect to a network, make sure that it's a legitimate network. And secure networks will usually have the name of the property or the hotel chain in the network ID. And they will also advertise the Wi-Fi network on printed material.
Correct.
And that's how you access, once you're there. And several of the hotels that I've stayed at, I've asked, do you have, Wi-Fi? Yes. They give me a piece of paper, pre-printed. Here is the password, and you just plug it in, and boom, there's nothing else to do except put in that password.
Perfection.
Now, keeping yourself safe from common hotel scams simply takes a little bit of know-how and what to be aware of. But by knowing the scammers' tricks, you can worry less about losing your data and focus on having a great trip.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
So when you're traveling, or whether you fly, take a bus, or drive, there are things that you should always have in your car if you're driving to a location.
If I'm driving to the salon, there are things I always have in my car. I always just have stuff in my car.
You're right. So whether you're traveling or not, these things should always be in your car.
Always be in your car, no matter what. You need
Yeah.
to have things.
And you're right. You need to have
I
things.
walk around with a pocketbook that you say is too heavy.
I
because
can't lift your pocketbook.
You do, though, and I appreciate that. Thank you. But I have stuff. We need things.
Yes, we do.
Okay, let's talk about what we need.
All right. So whether you're a slob or a neat freak, an auto enthusiast or a total driving spaz, the fact remains that there are things you really need to have in your car at all times.
Correct. I agree with that. Let's see if we have them all.
Okay. Number one, your registration.
Absolutely.
There's a big fine for not having that.
Yes, that you always have to have all of your information, that and your insurance card, of course, and be able to hand them your license.
For New Jersey to make more money. It used to
Absolutely.
be if you didn't have it, you just tell the cop, I have it, I can produce it, not at this time, or I can't locate it at this moment. And it was not a big deal.
Absolutely.
So, a paper map.
Yeah.
A paper map.
Absolutely, you should, and you know the reason why, especially if you have our carrier.
Dead zone.
Absolutely. That's the truth.
A phone charger.
Oh, yeah, that goes without
Because
saying. I make sure, wait, not only do I make sure that I have one in my car, but I have one in every car I enter.
I do too.
Well, I know. No,
Yeah.
I know you do, because if I'm with you, I make sure if you don't have one, which you do, because I put one there, I bring one. It's the truth.
And
This is so funny.
Yeah, the data on your GPS, it really will suck your phone dry. So you definitely.
I agree with you.
Okay. Now this is really important. A roll of quarters.
Which, wait a second, before you go any further, you know as well as I do, we don't necessarily have them in rolls, but we have our little areas, our little dishes, our little
Cup holders.
whatever, filled with quarters.
Yes.
And then say the next one.
And a $5 bill.
Which you know that we have because Dina, DC Alexander.
Yes.
Here we go. Our
wealth
$5
management advisor.
Our $5 challenge. You know as well as I do, we have plenty of $5 bills because we
bunch of
save them.
$5 bills.
Now we have them in case of emergencies. We don't try to spend them. We want to save them. But just in case we have an emergency, we have our $5 bills.
That's right. You have and you have a roll of quarters to put into meters somewhere.
Just in case.
Or if you're Italian, you hold it in your hand and make a fist in case you have to crack somebody.
I understand that too.
That's
We
what-
Jews understand that.
Yes.
Okay.
You got to have an umbrella.
We always do.
Yep. There will always be a downpour when you have to park 4 blocks away from
And the
wherever you're
thing
going.
is that, ladies, you don't want to have yucky hair. Or in my case, you don't want to have a wet head.
Right. Drips in your eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah. The salt burns your eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
And you should have the owner's manual. Because I still can't program my radio.
And he has trouble with his clock, too. I have to fix that. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
What's the next thing?
Got to have a bottle of water.
Of course, because you never know when you're going to get thirsty.
That's right.
Being thirsty sometimes happens.
And you get stuck in traffic for hours.
You could be thirsty.
Yeah, or stuck on the side of the road.
You could be thirsty.
Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
Always.
And so you have the water, an energy bar.
Yeah, because what if you're hungry? And you need a little bit of, what if you get, you have
Cranky?
a problem?
Road rage.
Sometimes that happens, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking flat tire and you're hungry. You need a little protein there.
That's right. Suppose your battery dies. You need jumper cables.
I don't have them. I would have to call AAA.
Oh, okay. And that takes 2 hours to get to you.
Unfortunately, my car's not big enough for jumper cables.
They have this little thing that you can pick up at, your Walmart or your Sears.
Okay.
It's actually a jumper box. It is a flasher, a radio, and a jumper.
How big is it? Will it fit in my car?
It's as big as a radio. It's like as big as like a little
a boom box or a little radio?
Something between a transistor radio and a boombox.
Okay. Will it honestly fit in my car?
It will fit in
then
your car.
Then we need to get it because shit happens to. Ooh.
That's right.
Then we need to. Are we still recording? Yeah. Okay. Then we need to get it because things happen to me.
Well, this little thing is a flashlight also.
Okay.
So, but an LED flash.
Our phones are flashlights.
And you're right. And I use my phone a lot.
I know. And you could run out of battery, so therefore we need the LED light. I have one of those, by the way.
You do?
I do.
Yeah, they're
it's a
very
little
good.
tiny red one. I'll get you one.
If your car breaks down at night or you need to find something that's underneath your seat. My phone usually falls underneath my seat. I don't know how, but it does.
Yes, it does.
And a first aid kit.
I have one.
Okay.
You know that I do.
I do too.
Do you? Okay,
My
good.
car actually came with the first aid kit.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And, you need Neosporin, Band-Aids, aspirin,
I actually have
the essentials.
Yeah, I actually have that in my pocketbook.
Tampons.
Yeah.
Toilet paper.
Okay.
Very, very important. There have been many a ride where I had to pull over on the side of the road to blow my nose,
Okay,
and
so-
I had toilet paper to
Okay,
use.
that's perfect. And I'm sure you had to pull over on the side to blow your nose.
Yes.
And so what's the difference with having tissues and toilet paper? Because I don't have toilet paper, but I do have tissues.
All right. Well, the toilet paper would be in your trunk. The tissue would be in the car visor.
Okay. Well,
All right.
I have lots of tissues, but okay.
Alrighty. An ice scraper, a little snow shovel.
You know what's so funny? I actually have that still in my car. I just keep it in my car because it's small enough. So it's there, all winter, all summer, because I never want to not have it.
Yeah,
I even have a little container of salt.
Good move.
I know. I have everything.
I keep an ice scraper. I keep a little shovel. And it's funny. I have a little sand or kitty litter. Kitty litter is not as heavy. And I also have like a mat, because if your wheel gets stuck in on ice or something like that, you put the mat under. It's like
That is smart. You know what? You can also use a little piece of cardboard.
Yeah, cardboard
Yeah.
is fine too.
Yeah, I have that. I have that.
Okay. Some handy wipes.
Wipes are very important in case you need to wipe your lipstick off, because you just don't feel it anymore, and the color is not doing any good for you while you're sitting there waiting, while you're eating your protein bar waiting for AAA. In my case, you might just want to wipe your lipstick off and reapply.
That's right. And I always think a roll of duct tape is very important.
Duct tape is very important.
That's right.
No
in
matter
case your
what.
partner or co-host talks too much,
You tie her up.
or duct tape her mouth. But also things break, fall apart. Fall off the car, you duct tape it right back on. I keep a roll of duct tape in my motorcycle also.
I know you have duct tape everywhere. Yes, I know. I've put it half those places. I have it in my drawer at the salon too. Yeah. I used to walk around with the cherry duct tape. Remember that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's cute.
In fact, we had something on our ceiling that was a little loose. We have the cherry duct tape.
I know,
up there.
and we
and the
actually-
customers notice it.
You know what's really funny? On the lights in the back, the light switches, the ones that have to stay on all the time, we cherry duct tape them. And I remember saying to one of the guys, one of the handymen, you said to me, just make sure you tell him how to turn off the lights. Well, I looked at him, I go, listen, just don't touch the cherries. Okay? And he was fine with that.
That's right. The cherry duct tape is actually for our computer and Wi-Fi system. We don't want to shut that down.
Don't touch the cherries.
And you want to keep a blanket.
Well, I
for
have car blankets.
Yeah, the chilly nighttime.
That's what I
cold
call them too. I call them my car blankets. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's
Remember
right.
them?
You do
Aren't
have
they
them.
so? Of
Yeah.
course, I have them because I freeze all the time, and these are actually fantastic. They're insulated, and they actually have a little piece of Velcro on the bottom of them, so you can roll them up, and they have a little tiny handle, and so they're perfect because I have a very tiny car. So I like to make sure that I can fit everything in there. So yeah, remember my blankets? Yeah, fantastic. I love those blankets.
And you want to have a set of sunglasses or two.
In my case, we have about 6. You do too, though. You have a lot of sunglasses.
I have a lot of sunglasses in my car too. Yeah, and of course lipstick and mascara.
Well, hello.
Spontaneity.
Yeah, of course. Well, I have absolutely everything except for, what was the one thing I didn't have? Oh yeah, the jumper cables. We need to do that.
We're gonna get you those. And believe it or not, matches and flares or an aim of flame.
Okay, I have the matches. I have a lighter. I don't have the aim of flame. I have that at the salon from you to light the candles. I don't have flares.
All right, we can pick those up at the car place right next door. And you want to have a hand sanitizer.
Have it.
Because have you ever been to a gas station bathroom that actually had any hand soap?
No, I don't go to gas station bathrooms. I would hold it in before I would do that. I would stop at a pretty hotel.
or a Wawa, or
Yeah, or
they
a
have
Wawa, or I
really
would
clean public bathrooms.
sooner use a bush than a gas station bathroom. Murders happen there, people. Murders happen.
And you want to have a trash bag, or
Have it.
otherwise known as a barf bag,
Have it.
in case somebody gets sick.
We have that.
And always a paper and a pen for jotting down notes.
Just in case your phone dies, and if the car dies and you can't charge it, you need to have paper and pen. Or here's one: have the pen or your eyeliner and lipstick work very well, ladies. You can write on your paper map.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can also give your number to that cute highway trooper. That,
Just give him the map.
That's helping you out.
Give him the map.
And I used to keep a change of clothes because I never knew where I was going to be.
Got it.
And
I have in my trunk, I have a little pair of leggings all rolled up and a sweatshirt, you know, just in case. You never know.
just in case that trooper calls you.
Well, no, just in case you spill something and you're cold and you need to change into a cute little sweatshirt and leggings.
Well, that's what the handy wipes are for. Because you hit a bump, that
Yeah,
coffee
but-
is always
yeah.
spilling all over you.
But the thing is that you don't want to go out with a stain either. And, there might be a stain. So you need to change your shirt. You understand that, right?
I
You
do.
don't like a stain, do you?
No stains for me.
That's
I'm
good.
in the stain-free zone. I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got static? Does your hair fly away? Prioritize and winterize. Spritz your hairbrush, comb through, and now you're ionized. Say hello to beautiful.
Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did. Good morning.
Good morning, Tina. It's got to be a very uncomfortable situation to have those, many credit cards and then to get so lost.
Oh, yes. And it's easy to fix. It's not uncommon, first of all. Nobody needs to feel like they're alone in this situation because we've all done it. I mean,
Sure.
Unfortunately, you have to live and you have to learn. We can't teach our children or even as an adult, we can't say, well, I made this mistake. I'm never going to recover from this. No, you can recover. You just have to have the right attitude and the right discipline to be able to do this. And if you are disciplined and you're serious and you want to recover and you want to be able to save for your retirement and other future things, then you have to get out of debt. And we have to figure out how to get out of debt easily and smartly instead of irresponsibly. And some of these credit card companies or these other companies that are posing as non-credit card companies are really not helping. They're going to make matters worse for you in some
Sure.
cases. So you have to just be aware.
And if you're somebody who doesn't understand this, like a kid, like a teenager.
Like an adult
well, no, a
who
lot
doesn't
of
understand.
I'm
A lot
sure
of
a lot of
adults,
adults
yeah.
don't. But I'm just saying, like my kids, if I hadn't had this conversation with them, who knows how many credit cards they would have. They would walk around seeing their grandfather holding a stack of credit cards with a rubber band because he couldn't fit them in a wallet. That's how many my father had. That's why I didn't know I'm like, oh yeah, the more you have, the better. Yeah.
Right.
So we had a lot of credit cards, but that's not the way to go.
No, I mean, if you have a lot of credit cards and you're not using them, then you shouldn't even be holding them. They should
Isn't
be
that
in a
bad?
box.
I actually did that when I was cleaning up my credit. I had probably 20 credit cards, and I stopped using them, and I was paying them off one by one. Cut
And
them
cutting
up.
them.
Well, that's right. What do they call that? Plastic surgery. I perform plastic surgery.
I'll never forget when I cut my husband's American Express. Oh, the poor guy, he looked at me like, oh
He's
my
going to have
God.
a heart attack.
Yeah, he watched me do it. I sliced it right in front of him. I'm like, you can't use this anymore. You just can't.
And that's one that you're supposed to pay off every month. And if that's one that gives you trouble, then,
Well, he would just charge so much on it.
Right.
Because you can just, it was unlimited. And he
Keeping
was just,
track.
and it would just like stress me out, and I'm like, I can't handle this anymore. Clip.
He could have always ordered another one.
But
So
he didn't because he respects
He knows
me.
better.
Oh,
Hey, I know he knows better. The funny thing, when I paid my credit cards off and then I didn't use them for a certain period of time, they actually canceled my account. I got a letter from them apologizing that their card didn't serve my purposes anymore.
Wait, does that
And
hurt
they-
your credit?
Yes, I think it did.
Did that hurt your, does that,
Well, it
Dina,
doesn't
do you
sound
know?
like that would hurt your credit because when you look at your credit report and some of it say closed account, well, obviously you don't know if it's closed by the credit card company or by the person whose credit it was. So you're going to need to explain that, like for when you're getting a house as an example, and you need to get a mortgage. I mean, that's obviously a lot of people, that's what people are looking to build their credit for, right? Is so that they could buy a house, the American dream, right?
Right.
So they will look back at the credit report and pull it, and it says closed by owner. That's okay. Closed by credit company. That's not okay. So you really have to read everything on that line by line.
So it is okay if you have a credit card, you decide you don't want it anymore, and you close the account yourself.
Yes, I believe that would be fine.
Okay.
Mind you, this is all my personal opinions, and
Sure,
you know,
no,
if
but
you do more research, you can find other opinions out
I would
there as
happen
well.
to agree with you.
Yes.
That it would be much better for you to close your own account than for them to close your account.
Mm-hmm.
And you had talked about actually getting copies of your credit report every 4 months. If you are applying for a mortgage or any big purchase that you need credit for, if you know if there's anything derogatory on your credit report, you can let the lender know in advance that such and such line 22, there is this.
Right.
I closed that, it was not closed.
Exactly. I mean, the more informed you are and the more information that you can give somebody that's trying to help you obtain a loan for a mortgage or any other large item that you need is going to be more helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, the more information that you provide and be honest with them, the less it's going to be held up in their review department.
And have questions about it.
Right. Because these are things that take months and months to obtain anyway sometimes. And so the more accurate that you can, accurate information that you can provide, the better.
Take control of your finances. Don't let them take control of you. DCAlexander.com.
Consult with Dina today. You'll be glad you did.
300,000 women surgically added a letter or 3 to their cup size last year.
Well, you know, I'm just happy to report that 88% of men said the enhancement can be too much of a good thing.
Yeah, well, I don't agree.
I don't really care. And I do have one more thing to add.
Sure.
They're saying that the average size breast,
No?
the average American woman's bra size,
Yes.
they're saying, is a 34E.
Yes,
Well, I'm
yes,
sorry. I think
yes.
that's fat and off balance. And if you need a breast the size of your head, then I suggest you go see Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Well, call me obese. You know, we've been doing a lot with Facebook and Twitter and really improving
lot.
our social media. Did you realize that misuse of Facebook could lead to depression?
I didn't know that misuse of it could lead to depression, but I understand that Facebook could lead to depression.
Yes, it does.
And I know people who've actually gotten very depressed, slipped into complete depressions over being on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know why they've gotten so depressed?
I do. That's what we're going to talk about.
Okay, I know why also.
Okay.
Well, I have my own opinion
Alrighty.
as to why.
And I
You let
know
me
that-
know
Of course.
if I'm correct or not.
And, you know, Facebook and social media is used for a variety of different things.
Absolutely.
You know, you view photos, you see old friends, you reconnect with them, and it's a chance to check up on virtually anybody within our network.
Correct.
However,
That could lead to depression.
yes, Facebook use could actually make us depressed.
So I have an acquaintance that I know, and she's actually now on medication. She sees a doctor, and she has what they call this Facebook social media depression. And what happened was a couple of years ago, she finally gave in and made an account for herself on Facebook and started seeing some of the lives of her friends, her former friends from high school and college and whatnot. And a lot of them are in different places. Everybody's in a different place. Everybody does things differently. Anyway, she's not happy with where she is in her life, but she's looking at these other people and she's seeing that they've come so far, they're doing so well, and that actually put her into a mind crazy depression. She lost it over it.
That is exactly what this whole article was about.
Of course it is. And I didn't read it.
Well,
Ha-ha.
yeah. According to a new study performed at the University of Missouri, Columbia, the study found that individuals who use Facebook for surveillance purposes, specifically to check up on how others are doing and to make comparisons between their lives and others.
And that's what does it.
Yep. They're the ones that are most likely to experience the
So
depression.
instead of using it to promote yourself for business, and instead of using it to just be who you are, you use it to check up on people, and look what happens. Isn't that crazy?
Bad news. Bad news.
Bad news. It sure is bad news.
Well, Facebook users experience envy of the activities and the lifestyles of their friends on Facebook, and they're much more likely to report feelings of depression. And Facebook, though, can be a very positive resource for most people.
Yes.
But if it's used in a way to size up one's own accomplishment against others, boy, it can have a real negative
But
effect.
that's with anything. Because you know what? Don't compare yourself. You're exactly where you're supposed to be for whatever reason it is.
I agree.
Everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to.
I say that
and
all the time.
if you're not happy with something in your life, change it.
Only you have the power.
Absolutely. Make a move. Do something. If you're not happy where you're working, find another job. Find something else. If you're not happy with the person that you're with, do something about it. Have a conversation. Meet other people. If you're not happy with the fact that you don't have a lot of friends, go places, make some friends.
Take a look at yourself. Why you don't have friends.
It always boils down to who you are and what you do and what the choices are that you make.
And you remember, the 5 people that you hang out with mostly, you're a collection of what they are.
Exactly. So if you have a friend that doesn't have anybody in their lives and is miserable, chances are, if you're hanging out with them, you're going to be that person too. So take a look around you, see who you are, see what you can do, and improve yourself. And know what your priorities are, know what's important.
Some of the things that researchers found triggered the surveillance. Facebook users become envious when they were seeing new houses or cars photographed on their friends' pages.
You know, that's so
as
interesting.
well as about the elaborate vacations they take.
That is so interesting. I have to say, I mean, there are all different kinds of people that we see and that we know. And I see people all the time that have amazing things. They go on amazing vacations. They have homes that are just, 10,000 square feet. Huge,
That's
unbelievable.
a hotel, 10,000
Well, you know
square
what?
feet.
It's this girl's house. Okay, it's what she calls home. But I have to tell you, I'm just happy for them. That's what they want. They've worked toward it. They've found a way to get it. It makes them smile. It makes them happy. We don't know what's going on inside their heads, but you know what? Good for them if that's the life they want.
That's right. And Facebook can be fun and a healthy activity, if the users take advantage of the site to stay connected with family or old friends and to share interesting and important aspects of their lives.
Exactly. The pictures of your children, and it can just be fantastic.
And I mean, I have so many pictures of my 6 illegitimate children from the 5 gals, the women that I've had them with.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite stories of yours.
But if Facebook is used to see how well an acquaintance is doing financially or how happy an old friend is in his relationship, these are the things that cause envy among the users.
Start with yourself, always. You'll be glad you did.
3, 2, 1.
Well, boy, this is really an interesting subject that we're going to be talking about here.
What are you hitting me with now?
Well, Andy's going to love this one.
Okay. Hey, as long as it's a study, it's okay.
That's right. This is a study.
Okay.
Okay. Is your lover's penis making you sick?
Ay. I don't know.
That's got to be one nasty penis.
This is, I don't know. This is rough. All right.
Well,
talk to me about this.
All righty. So we know, and we've had many shows about, having sex can bring many benefits.
Absolutely. And we also have been telling everybody that after you have sex, before you cuddle, go to the bathroom.
Yes, we have talked about that.
We have said that, yes.
And we're going to say it again today.
Oh boy, really? Is it that? Yeah.
So
it's that important?
Well, what this study was saying is that sometimes a little too much time with his penis could make you sick. And we're not talking about STDs.
What are we talking about?
Well, there are a few unexpected ways that his penis could lead to getting you sick.
Okay, I'm really curious. I'm really a little concerned and really curious.
Okay.
Talk to
Alrighty.
me.
Now, I don't necessarily agree with this, but some studies have shown that having sex can actually cause a headache, as well as making them go away.
Okay, and yes, that's true, because if you can create a situation, what happens is when you're having sex and you reach that euphoric moment, your blood vessels increase and decrease, increase and decrease. So therefore, if they could get rid of the headache, they can certainly start one.
Right, and that's when those blood vessels fill up with blood, cause the headache.
Don't forget, we also talked about thunderclap headaches.
Right.
And
that's the ones after sex.
Right. Or that's when you're reaching your orgasm. That's when the headache comes on. And then as you actually go through the orgasm, because you were just already there, it turns into a mind-boggling, painful pain in your head.
Yes, mind-boggling, not mind-blowing.
Well, because you're confused. Why am I having this headache right there at this time? Like, how could this possibly be happening? But that's why.
Yes. And according to a report by the International Headache Society, sex can bring on two different kinds of headaches. The first type of headache is a pre-orgasmic, and it's a result of sexual excitement causing a buildup of pressure, which was the thunderclap, as you talked about. And the other type comes from explosive pains that's usually experienced along with or immediately following the climax. Notice how I use the word explosive. And that's what we called a thunderclap headache. And we talked about that a few months ago in another show.
Yes, we did.
Okay. And believe it or not, that affects about one person in 100.
Wow. And
that was revealed in a 2012 study published in the British Journal of Medicine.
Wow. Wow, you are just a plethora here.
You keep saying that.
Okay, it's true.
Alrighty. And, you might be allergic to your man's penis.
Allergic to him or allergic to different products that you may use regarding him?
Well, okay. You could have an allergic reaction to the lubricants, spermicidal jelly, the latex condoms, and possibly even his swimmers.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Huh. Each man has his own unique proteins in his semen. So, chances of reaction are higher if you have a new lover.
Okay.
So, however, over time, the reaction decreases as the woman gets used to a man's chemical makeup.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I could understand that, being reactive to somebody. You're both different. You both have different chemicals, like you said. So that makes sense to me.
Also, if you're overstimulated by an orgasm, what that does is it leads to an overload on your nervous system. And this can lead to a release of the neurochemicals that cause dizziness and a feeling of lightheaded. I always thought that was a good thing.
Yeah, but I can understand where that could happen. That's very interesting information. Wow.
So, after intense, multifaceted levels of stimulation, like clitoral, vaginal, and sometimes even rectal, all at one time, women can experience an autonomic nervous system overload.
Okay.
Now, that's from Jennifer Berman, MD and director of the Berman Women's Wellness Center in LA. Everybody knows that Dr. Berman.
But that's interesting because I can understand that. I can understand that being. Think about this for just a minute. You're being stimulated in so many different directions.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot.
I have heard stories because in our business, people tell us
Everything.
everything, things that we don't need to know, but they tell us anyway. And I've had women tell me that with their particular lover, or that their body would shake uncontrollably after they've made love and reached orgasm.
It's interesting because there are many different levels of orgasm and many different types. And so, I imagine that the shaking could absolutely happen. Their entire bodies would just go into an orgasmic...
Like a convulsion, yeah.
Yeah, an orgasmic convulsion, I guess you can call it.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Berman also says that, after a sex-filled weekend, if you and your man are really getting busy, don't be surprised if you start to develop the telltale signs of a UTI coming on.
Mm-hmm.
Like aching, tenderness, burning. This type of infection happens so often to women. Expert actually named it the honeymoon cystitis.
It has a name?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The honeymoon cystitis. And the problem starts because the urethra, which is the tube that goes from the outside up into the bladder, is literally right next to the vagina. And OBGYN Mary Jane Milken, MD, and clinical professor at the Yale School of Medicine says when you have sex, bacteria from the vagina can get rubbed into the urethra, where it ends up traveling up the bladder. And when you have lots of sex in a short period of time, it can make you more susceptible to these infections.
Very, very interesting. Wow. Now, isn't that crazy?
All of a sudden, I don't want to have sex anymore.
Ha.
Or any less.
Ha.
You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Learn and laugh with us anytime, any place. Go right to our website, AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Click away and listen today.
And if you have a topic of interest that you want us to talk about, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
And remember, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card.
But how you make people feel, that becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.